Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have everything they need to succeed, while others struggle endlessly, even with the same prayers and effort? Let me tell you a secret. God doesn't waste resources. He's the ultimate strategist, the master planner, who gives exactly what you need, not what you want, and certainly not what he gave someone else. Take Solomon, for example. God didn't give him wealth because he wanted to flaunt his generosity. No, Solomon's immense wealth was directly tied to his purpose as a king. He needed it to lead, to build, and to govern his people with excellence. Imagine if Solomon had been given only wisdom without the wealth. Would he have been able to construct the temple or establish the peace and prosperity his kingdom enjoyed? Probably yes, but not in the time frame God planned for it. Now, here's the game changer. As a Christian entrepreneur, God operates the same way in your life. If your business requires financial provision, He'll provide it. If it requires connections, wisdom, or even perseverance, He'll supply exactly what's needed. But here's the catch. God won't give you something just because you want it, or because it looks good on someone else. He gives based on the blueprint He's designed specifically for your purpose. So, here's the million-dollar question. Are you chasing after things you want, or are you seeking what you truly need to fulfill your God-given purpose? Stick with me, because in today's video, we're diving deep into how God's provision works in the life of a Christian entrepreneur, and how aligning with His purpose can unlock the resources you've been praying for. When Solomon asked for wisdom, God gave him wisdom and wealth. Why? Because his purpose as a king required more than just knowledge. Let's take a closer look at 1 Kings 3 verse 5 to 14. Solomon didn't wake up one day as the wealthiest king on earth. When he became king, he didn't even ask for wealth. When God appeared to him in a dream and told him to ask for whatever he wanted, Solomon chose wisdom to lead his people. But what did God do? He gave Solomon wisdom, and so much more. Wealth, honor, and influence that surpassed every other king of his time. Why? Because Solomon's purpose as a king required more than just wisdom. Wisdom alone wasn't enough to build the great temple of God, to unify a vast kingdom, and to establish a period of unprecedented peace and prosperity. Wealth was a tool Solomon needed to execute God's plan, and God provided it in abundance. Here's where many of us miss the mark. We often chase wealth or resources without first understanding why we need them. Solomon's wealth wasn't random, and it wasn't for personal gain. It was a divine resource to fulfill a divine assignment. Think about it. If God had only given Solomon wisdom without wealth, could Solomon have built the magnificent temple that glorified God? Could he have provided jobs for the craftsmen, architects, and builders who brought that vision to life? Could he have managed his people effectively during times of economic growth and peace? No, because his purpose required both wisdom and resources. Now, let's apply this principle to your life as a Christian entrepreneur. Imagine someone starting a nonprofit to feed the homeless, but feeling frustrated because they don't have enough funds. Here's the question. Is their purpose aligned with God's plan? Are they managing what they've been given wisely? And if their purpose is in line with God's will, are they trusting that God will provide the resources they need, whether financial, human, or otherwise, to bring that vision to life? God never sends a soldier into battle without equipping them with the right weapons unless the soldier decides to go on his own, using God as a pretext. Solomon's wealth was his weapon to build, lead, and glorify God. Provision always follows purpose. If you don't know your purpose, you may miss the resources God has set aside for you. The world chases after wealth for self-fulfillment, but in God's kingdom, wealth is just a tool to fulfill His divine mission through you. So, what does this mean for you as a modern Christian entrepreneur? It means you need to stop comparing your journey to others. Just as God gave Solomon what he needed for his role, He'll give you exactly what's required for your assignment. But are you seeking purpose? Or are you chasing someone else's blessing? In the next point, we'll uncover how God provides resources tailored to your unique vision. What your business needs might not be money. It could be wisdom, connections, or resources. And the amazing thing is this: God knows exactly what to give you. Take a moment to reflect on Matthew 6 verse 8, where Jesus tells us, "Your Father knows what you need before you ask Him." Think about that. God doesn't just see your situation. He understands your unique needs better than you do. And because of that, He provides precisely what is necessary for you to fulfill the purpose He has called you to. God's provision is tailored, not generic. We often fall into the trap of thinking provision only means money. But money isn't always the answer. Sometimes what you need for your business, or even your life, has nothing to do with finances. Consider this. What if your business needs wisdom to navigate tough decisions? What if it requires connections to build strategic partnerships? What if it needs technology to streamline operations? God's provision is not one size fits all. Just as He didn't give Solomon a sword to fight Goliath, because that wasn't Solomon's calling. He won't give you what someone else has if it doesn't align with your unique assignment. Picture a Christian entrepreneur trying to launch a tech startup. Their frustration grows because they're praying for a huge cash investment but haven't received it. But what if God is opening doors in another way? Perhaps He sends a team of skilled developers who are willing to work with them for equity rather than cash. Or maybe God brings in a mentor with years of industry experience to guide them. Here's the truth. The success of their business may not depend on a lump sum of money, but on the right people, ideas, or systems that God places in their path. God is not limited by human resources. He provides according to purpose, not according to pressure. The provision you receive reflects the vision you've been entrusted with. Trust Him to give you exactly what's needed for the next step. Money might open doors, but wisdom, faith, and obedience build the house. Seek God for the tools, not just the treasures. God's provision is like rain falling on a field. It always reaches the areas that need it most. When you focus on His purpose and trust His timing, you'll realize that what He gives is exactly what you need to thrive. And the best part? You can rest in the assurance that He never forgets your needs, even when the answers don't come the way you expect. But here's the catch. Whatever God provides, you're responsible for managing it wisely. Solomon didn't squander the wealth God gave him. He used it to glorify God, build His temple, and serve His people. Let's explore this deeper in the final point, and see how we can manage God's blessings to create a lasting impact. If you want to see God provide even more, you must first show that you can manage what He's already given you. God's economy operates differently from the world's. In Matthew 25 verse 14 to 30, Jesus tells the parable of the talents, a story that reveals a profound truth. God gives resources to those who prove they can handle them. The servant who invested and multiplied his talents was rewarded with more. But the one who buried his talent out of fear lost even the little he had. The message is clear. Stewardship unlocks increase. If you want God to trust you with more, you must first demonstrate faithfulness with what He's already entrusted to you. Managing what you have. Stewardship begins with gratitude. Recognize that every blessing, whether big or small, comes from God. When you treat what you have with care and respect, it's an act of worship. Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. Luke 16 verse 10. God doesn't waste resources. Why would He pour more into your hands if you're not managing what you already have? God values efficiency, growth, and accountability. Whether it's money, skills, or opportunities, He expects us to use them wisely. Here are some actionable steps to become a faithful steward. Manage finances wisely. Create a budget for your business and stick to it. Avoid unnecessary debt and make intentional decisions about spending and investing. Remember, every dollar you manage well honors God and positions you for more. Build systems that sustain growth. Strong businesses don't grow by accident. They thrive because of systems, processes for hiring, operations, and customer service. By creating structure in your business, you show God that you're serious about your vision. Invest in people and teams. Just as Solomon invested in the skilled workers who built the temple, you must invest in your team. Surround yourself with people who share your vision and values and equip them to succeed. Serve others with your resources. The ultimate goal of stewardship is not self-serving wealth, but using what you have to bless others and glorify God. Whether it's donating to causes, mentoring others, or improving lives through your products or services, stewardship involves looking beyond yourself. God doesn't reward hoarders, He rewards builders. What you do with your talents determines how much He will entrust to you. Faithfulness isn't measured by how much you've been given, but by how well you manage it. Your business is not just about profit, it's a platform to glorify God. Steward it wisely, and watch Him multiply it. You can't expect a harvest if you're unwilling to plant seeds and nurture them. When you're faithful with the little, you show God that you're ready for more. But stewardship isn't just about increasing wealth. It's about fulfilling His purpose for your life. Think about it. If God blesses you abundantly, it's so you can make a greater impact in His kingdom. Remember, God doesn't waste resources. He'll only give more to those who use what they've been given wisely. And here's the good news. If you've been faithful with what's in your hands today, get ready, because God is preparing to entrust you with more tomorrow. Let's wrap up this and see how all these pieces fit into God's perfect plan for your business and life. God's provision is always perfect. It's exactly what you need to fulfill your calling, no more, no less. But here's the key. It's not just about what God gives you, it's about how you manage it. Whether He blesses you with wealth like Solomon or equips you with other resources, trust that His plan is intentional, precise, and perfectly tailored to your purpose. As Christian entrepreneurs, our role is to steward what God has placed in our hands wisely and faithfully. By aligning with His plan, we unlock blessings not just for ourselves, but for others, and for His glory. If you're feeling inspired and want to dive deeper into aligning your business with God's purpose, be sure to watch our video, Why God Wants You to Start a Business. In that video, we unpack powerful biblical principles that will help you understand why your business is a part of God's grand design. Like, subscribe and share this video if it resonated with you.